The countdown timer says we are live. Now, a premium account on X is required to create live broadcasts on their platform, apparently. Oh well. Removing X from the stream. Sorry, X. Well, hello, everyone. Let me see. YouTube says it's waiting on me. You know how I know? It's on my phone. There I am. Hey, I showed up. Good for me. All right. Well, hello, everyone. This is talking live about data careers. Sharing your referral link. I'm sorry. I'm like endlessly entertained by bells and whistles on StreamYard. So let me see if we're doing good on LinkedIn here. If you're here, give me a holler. Let me know where you're listening in from. I will probably have to sit here and refresh my notification feed over and over like I did last time. Anyway, cool. Well, if you're here, if you're watching, give me a message. I will watch on my YouTubes over here, and I will watch on my LinkedIn's over here. So if you do come in, we changed the time a little bit. It was 7 o'clock last time. It's 8 o'clock this time. You know, what are you going to do? So let me share my screen. Now, I threw together a slideshow. I probably shouldn't dignify it by calling it a slideshow. It's a hodgepodge at best. I am here to, hello, LinkedIn user. I am here to, well, at least I know I'm getting my LinkedIn messages in StreamYard. So that's an improvement over last week. Let me see if I got my profile, if it shows up. Maybe not. Okay. Cool. Let me see if I can get the comments on there. Faria Asghar is here. Okay. Cheryl is LinkedIn user. Okay, there we go. I love playing these games. You know, God bless modern technology. I've got 3 monitors right here. If you can't tell from my like squirrel moments going around. Frankfurt, Delaware. Awesome. Lovely place. I won't lie, I've never been there. But I have been to Delaware. And that was where I first experienced Royal Farms. If you've never experienced the majesty of Royal Farms, trust me, you are missing out. Now, Royal Farms is spreading to other locales. We actually have them here right like 15 minutes from my house. But yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So we got that. So we got that going for us, which is nice. All right. Cheryl, where are you coming from? Remind me again. Okay, now I got to go back to the notifications. Cool. Okay. Good morning, Lars. Look at you all polite. Lars, you country goofball. It's not, there's no way it's morning where you are, Lars. You live in the United States. Anyway, whatever. Cool. So yeah, this is a Q&A session for y'all. I have a number of things that I can talk about, will talk about. Jeff DeBaldo's coming to us from Pittsburgh. Love Pittsburgh. Don't love their sports teams. Love the town. Hey, Jeff. Kentucky. All right. Got Kentucky in the house. Who's from Kentucky? Hasn't shown up on my notification feed yet. I got a couple of things that I can talk about. I would much rather respond to whatever you want to talk about. So if you have questions, I just got off an awesome coaching session. I won't tell you who. She's not famous or anything, but I think she might be here with us. So yeah, cool. But I just got off an awesome coaching session and very good, very productive. Lady's going to go far. She's already got good experience, but you're from at work in Illinois. Then it's definitely not morning, Lars. It's 7 o'clock at night. Come on, you're in Central Time. But reinforced a lot of the things that I tend to like to talk about. The other cool thing is, anybody like, hey, Nita, there she is. There's my my coaching session from earlier. Anybody like Napoleon Hill? I don't know if you're into that. Napoleon Hill, obviously most famous for writing the book Think and Grow Rich, which is one of those kind of milestone marker books. It's like, have you read it? Is your life complete? Um, you either love Think and Grow Rich or you hate it, and I know people who feel both ways about it. But yeah, I've been listening to. I don't know if this should be like intriguing or alarming to us, but there are now AI videos of people that existed speaking. Um, and so I'm into the ones I've been listening to ones by Napoleon Hill. Of course, Napoleon Hill has been dead for quite some time. So it's fascinating that they're coming out with new YouTube content that is not recordings of what he said while he's alive. It is an AI synthesis of things that he wrote. So Napoleon Hill wrote quite a few books, not all of which were like heavily published or put into rotation. Hey, I don't want to butcher your name, Mr. Damas Tikaona. Looks like Tikaona. If I screwed that up, let me know. Please correct me. Welcome from Boston. If you got a question, just toss it in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep talking. But anyway, so total squirrel moment. They are making AI videos now of real people talking and not necessarily the exact words that they used. Alarming to think of what they can do with that. I think most of you that are aware of AI and deepfakes and whatnot know that that's been a thing for a while now. We don't know of anything that's totally abused it. However, let's get away from the dystopian future. I have been thoroughly enjoying some AI videos of Napoleon Hill speaking. Now, there are quite a few videos of Napoleon Hill speaking out there. He was big in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. So obviously the sound quality of most of his recordings aren't great. He also did a lot of public speaking. So it wasn't like he was always in like a soundproof, acoustic chamber or anything. But the new ones, they're kind of set to some soft music, but it aggregates a lot of his writings. And he was a very prolific writer, and his books are dense. If you read Think and Grow Rich, I mean, it's not a ponderous tome, but there's a lot to it. So I've been listening to these AI generated Napoleon Hill videos, and they're pretty lengthy. I mean, some of them are like 30, 45 minutes an hour. But they'll have him kind of oriented on a topic. So he had these pet topics. And, one of the things was positive mental attitude. Another thing was affirmations. Another thing was visualization. A lot of things that really come back into vogue pretty heavily. And the ones that I've listened to the last couple of days reinforce a lot of my deeply held beliefs, some of which I developed from reading Think and Grow Rich. Pretty sure that is still the only. Did I read trying to trick the devil, trying to trap the devil, or whatever? Anyway, Think and Grow Rich is the only Napoleon Hill book that I know that I've read. But it's really cool to see a lot of the ideas and things and things that I try and teach in my class, Data Career Academy, which some of you have taken. We're starting another one Monday. It's very cool to see a lot of those ideas reflected in these videos of Napoleon Hill. So a little creepy, a little weird, but I'm into it. Okay. So cool. If you stick around to the end now, I'm planning to go till 9. If people are still asking questions, I will keep talking. You know that. But I'm planning to go till 9 tonight at a bare minimum. I may just sit here and whistle Dixie to myself. But if you're still here at 9, I've got at least one free gift for you and one kind of thing to offer you. So with that, let's get into, I do have one question now. If anybody has any questions, I am happy to talk about any of the topics. If you don't have a copy of my book, you can get this on Amazon. I'm not here to sell books. Trust me, I am never going to get rich selling this darn thing. But topics they're pretty well known, right? I do resumes. If you need a resume, dmaterdata.com. I can fix it for you. But I'll talk about analyst identity and brand and how to isolate your identity. See Ham's here. What up? Delaware, Philadelphia area. Old friend. Siam is one of my oldest LinkedIn friends. I'm talking like when I was still in uniform in the Marine Corps. Good to see you. 9 Central. No, 9 Eastern. I'm Eastern time. So it is 8:10 for me. Top of the hour is when I'll do free gifts. Hey, we're up to 2 on or not Facebook. Can't get Facebook to work on YouTube. But anyway, so topics on the table. If any of these pique your interest, fire away. Identity, brand, your elevator pitch, how to express your value, LinkedIn, networking, resume. I'm just reading down the table of contents here. Portfolio, happy to talk about that. The job hunt, how to find the jobs that you want, how to do that intelligently. Your interview, and then tying the plan all together. That's what's in the book, and that's what's in my course. So if you're interested in Data Career Academy, I will show you where the link is to apply for that. If you have done it before, no, I am not automatically going to roll you back into this one. So I would appreciate it if you would fill out the form again when I show you where the link is for that. I'll give you a hint. The link is in the same place it's always been. But yeah, so Data Career Academy starting Monday. And we'll talk about a couple other things. I know everybody that saw the post that I did a couple of days ago about getting your LinkedIn data. If I will go through a little bit of that technically. Now I did run out of time to do that in SQL Server. So you probably do not want to watch me fumble through a SQL join, and I've never done joins in SQL Server. So somebody wants to talk me to it, maybe we'll do that. But okay, Jeff DeBaldo says, when a recruiter reaches out to you, what is your, I can put it on screen. Look at that. What is your litmus test on both green flags and red flags to look for before deciding to reach back out to them? When a recruiter reaches out to you, what is your litmus test on both green flags and red flags to look for before deciding to reach back out to them? Okay. So a little context in case anybody's like, what the heck? So yeah, recruiters. There are recruiters, and then there are recruiters out there on LinkedIn. I'm going to go ahead and guess that if you hear 10 messages from recruiters, how many days is that? We'll talk about, Nita, got you. We'll talk about that. Let me answer Jeff's question first, and then I got a couple of slides and little graphics to show you. So there are recruiters and there are recruiters. All of the messages that you get from anybody that styles themselves as a recruiter on LinkedIn, I would venture to guess that 50% at a minimum are fraudulent. Just they're either not real recruiters or they're trying to recruit you to a fake job where you're going to sell, multi-level marketing or worse. Amir always shows up when I bring up the squirrel. Yes, he does. Especially when I bring up how bad I am at it and how much I don't care about it. But yeah, so how do you know when the recruiter is, or what are some red flags to let you know when it is a recruiter or a job? The golden rule generally is just, if it seems too good to be true, it probably isn't. For a long time, I haven't seen them lately. For a long time, they had these like scam like honeypots that were all over LinkedIn. And they would try and get you to talk to them, and then they would try to get you to talk to them on like Telegram or WhatsApp or something like that. And then, as I understand it, the scam was they would like blackmail people and try to get them to buy like fake crypto and lose all their money. So haven't seen those in a while, but that's kind of a graphic illustration of most people on LinkedIn look like the kind of people in your office, right? So like, I'm a realistic guy. I don't look like Brad Pitt. or maybe Brad Pitt, like with a hangover and like, with bad haircut. But, I'm not of exceptional attractiveness. I mean, look at, hey, Jeff's bald, right? Get it? DeBaldo. Anyway, um, we're not like supermodel looking dudes. So I know in real life, like if I was to go out to a bar and a woman comes up to me and she looks like a Hungarian supermodel and she starts hitting on me, it's a scam. Sorry, it just is. Like I'm not rich. I don't look rich. And I'm not that good looking, and you know, women like that just don't do that. So if on LinkedIn a woman that looks like a Hungarian supermodel wants to chat with you suddenly and then move the chat to some more private location, it's a scam. If a recruiter is recruiting you for a job that seems too good to be true or hits all of your must haves, like, hey, it's remote, there's no background check, there's no, if there's like no strings attached and it's everything you ever dreamed it could be, tread lightly. That's a big red flag. Um, if a job is wonderful, they don't just give it away. People want it. And generally, to pop up on a lot of searches on LinkedIn, you have to fit kind of a specific profile. Um, yeah, it's a seller's market for jobs, which is funny because it's, every recruiter, every hiring manager you talk to moans about how hard it is to find the right people for the job. But they're still kind of the ones holding all the cards right now. So what that means is if there's more of us than there are of them, then we're the ones that have to go looking. So, if you extend the bar metaphor, you're the one that has to go approach the other because they're the one that holds all the cards. So it's not always like that. People do get jobs from cold outreach by recruiters, but a lot of times it's if you have some special qualification that's very difficult to get. I've never used it really. I I actually got it for kind of a silly reason that I won't get into because I don't want to bore you to death. But I have a security clearance that's called TSSCI, which the people that have worked in the Department of War will know what that is. But it's the level like secret, and then there's top secret, and then SCI is, it's not really a level above secret. It's a kind of sideways. It's a different thing. But it's the one you want if you want to have like a cool guy, cool gal job. I never, other than 3 months at DARPA, I never had the cool guy, cool gal job. But anyway, I did get cleared for TSSCI. I do get cold outreach from recruiters about that, and I don't even feature that prominently on my profile anymore. You got to go looking for it. But and so there's nothing to saying that I'm not bragging about that. Like I said, I've never used it. I've had some job offers; they weren't that great, and I didn't take them. But yeah, so if you don't have that specific, if you're kind of, third data analyst from the left, no disrespect to anybody here, but if you have the standard data analytics skill set and there's nothing that really distinguishes you, you don't have like X meta in your headline, which is lame, but if you worked at Meta, I suppose you could wave that flag. But yeah, if you don't have that, if it seems like, if the job seems like a compromise and it's something where the recruiter's like, hey, call me back on this job, I think it fits you, but they're not like love bombing you or like overly gushing, that's probably a green flag. If it seems like something where it's like, okay, this is a job I could do, but it's not everything I ever dreamed of, and yeah, oh, definitely. But there's no harm in contacting them back. It's like walking into the car dealership. It's like if you can't trust yourself to walk into a car dealership and not walk out with a car, that's a you problem. That's not the salesman's problem. Salesperson. Okay. So yeah, don't be afraid that you're going to get tricked by a recruiter. Your spidey sense is going to go off. If they try to get you to sell Amway or Mary Kay or something like that, you're going to figure it out. Okay, Jeff answered Nita's question 9. 9 is the number of the counting, and the number of the counting shall be 9. Yes. So Data Career Academy is a 3-week course. It is 9 total classes. I tend to run the classes Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. The reason I do that is number one, I don't want to be trying to get people into an online class at 8 o'clock on Friday night. I don't want to be teaching it then. I want to be, a beer or two deep at that point. But Fridays, I tend to keep off limits. And then I like to have a breakup in the middle. So I don't want to do like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's just, you want to have some time because I do assign homework. So we will most likely do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't remember what I did last time. Somebody remind me. But yeah, it will be Monday and Thursday, and then either Tuesday or Wednesday for 3 weeks running. So it'll start this Monday, the 9th, and then go through to, I think Thursday is the 26th would be the last day. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Let's see if there's other questions. Team Squirrel, Amir, how do you communicate technical proficiency to a business user or HR person who only has a checklist or a JD? So I think what Amir is saying, let me pop this one up. I think what Amir is saying is if you have a normie hiring for a data job, how do you get it across to them that you're technically proficient? So I was telling Nita this, and anybody that's been through DCA already, you've heard this many times. It's about conveying value. Amir, I don't remember if you have kids, but anybody that's got kids will understand when your kid asks you when they're like 3 or 4 or whatever, whenever they start becoming like strangely curious, like focused curious, okay? Like 2 years old is the why phase, and that's just they don't even know what questions to ask. They're like, why is that wall there? But when they start asking questions that show they actually have a little comprehension about the world around them. So when my kids asked, why does daddy put on the green tree suit every day? Or I guess it was the brown sand suit at that point because I was on the West Coast. But why does daddy put on the camouflage uniform and his boots every day and go to work? And why does he come home so late and whatever? And you had to explain to them what you do for work. I didn't sit down. I was an artillery officer, right? I didn't sit down and break down like how to conduct manual cannon gunnery and and interpret a meteorological message and how it affects the flight of an artillery round to him. I told him Daddy goes out and takes his big guns into the desert and makes them go boom. Or and as time went on, I gave him more and more complex explanations. But not to say that a normie that's interviewing data analysts is dumb or childish. It's just they have expertise in other areas. And so if you can't communicate, what was the one? Was it Einstein that said like if you can't teach something, you don't understand it that well? I would say if you can't express what you do simply in like layperson terms, then you don't understand it that well. Anybody that has mastery of a subject like Amir has on Team Squirrel. Amir, I bet you could explain SQL to a child and tell them kind of what it does without getting into like here's a window function and here's a no. But you could explain to them how, joining data together. You can explain to a normie like complex data functions in normie language. It's like explaining something to a kid. So yeah, how do you communicate? I mean, here's the thing, Spidey senses everything. And I was getting into it, not getting into it. I was having a spirited discussion with people in the comments today and on a couple of my posts. And the conversation turned to like one of my favorites, which is portfolio versus certification. If you've listened to me for a while, I am a believer that on balance, a relevant tested certification is a more high leverage play than a portfolio. There are exceptions. But the exception does not disprove the rule. There are exceptions. A certification to me, that's a proctored test, a test that you may pay for. There is some proof of value in having one of those. If you have, Nita has PL300, Abe has PL300. I have Tableau Desktop. I have Alteryx Core and Advanced, and a couple other kind of low-level ones. But if there's a test and you got to pay money for the test and you got to study for it, and there's some proof of value there. So, there were plenty of people making snide remarks about certifications in the comments. Don't confuse certification PL300 with Udemy Intro to Python. It's not the same. So I'm talking about something where you have to pass a test and somebody gives you a certificate. To me, that is a higher leverage play. However, some of the people that were kind of more on my side started taking pot shots at portfolios and saying like, hey, well, you can cut and paste a portfolio. Absolutely, you can. However, anybody that gets you in an interview and says, hey, you've referenced your portfolio as part of your experience, and that's great. I see that you've done an extensive project in Tableau. Can you tell us, where'd you get the idea for this dashboard and what did it accomplish? If what they get in return is a blank stare and you like drooling on yourself, they know you copied your dashboard. Anything that you bring into an interview, resume, whatever, anything that you present for examination is going to be examined, and you should be ready to talk about it. So I tell you that story to tell you this story. Even a person that doesn't know, I'm trying to think of an expression that isn't obscene. Anyway, even a person that doesn't know their head from their shoulder when it comes to data analytics can look a person in the eye, ask them a technical question that they were instructed to read off of a question sheet, and see that that person either panics, cuts loose with a stream of bullshit, or looks confident and gives a coherent answer. The truth just sounds different, right? What was that from? Almost Famous. The truth just sounds different, right? So yeah, that's what I would say. It's not foolproof. Nothing's foolproof, but yeah, that's looking confident, sounding confident, giving your answers in a timely fashion, not needing a 30-second grace period to stare at the ceiling and think of what you're going to say. It all enhances, but it's the same way with if the person does know what they're asking, right? I mean, you could know it forwards and backwards, and if you spaz and like get tongue-tied, I mean, they're going to think you don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, hope that answers the question. I ignore recruiters from WhatsApp and who reaches out directly through text. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, Nita. Amir says, I think it works when you're talking about those kinds of data tools, but what about languages like R or Python or SQL even? Amir, have you had an interviewer that was asking you questions about like technical questions about languages and they didn't know anything about them? That to me, I mean, not to totally turn it around, but for me, that would be a red flag about the employer. If I'm gonna keep it 100, keep it a buck, as the kids say. One of these days, I'll get one of my kids to watch one of these videos. But yeah, if I'm gonna keep it real here, like when keeping it real goes wrong, yeah, I would say that to me would be like, I don't know if this is a place I want to work, if this is how they're going to conduct interviews. Um, I don't know if I can't get through a session without saying Matt Bratton's name, but yeah, I know if Matt comes in here, I know that Matt had to hire when he was working in as a corporate stooge. B, hated hiring. It was one of his least favorite parts of his job, which for people outside of HR, they always pretty much hate hiring. But yeah, that was the thing. He was in the hiring rooms, and Matt knows his stuff. So yeah, I would just say if the company can't be bothered to put someone, the HR people should be asking you the behavioral questions. They should not be asking you to like whiteboard SQL. That's what I'd say about that. You may not be in a position where you can discriminate all that much, but it happens a lot. That is unfortunate. I've never seen that. Trying to think of the interviews I've been on. I haven't been on one recently. Funny thing, trying to think of who he is. He's like 3 up on my chain of command. So yeah, my like director level. But he recommended to us in one of his like in videos. Like he gives it also a weekly video to tell us what he's thinking and what he expects of us and all that stuff. He told us in a video like, hey, you should interview for another job every once in a while. He's like, keeps you sharp. And he's like, and if you get the job offer and you want to go take it, no hard feelings. He's like, you got to move around every once in a while. It keeps you fresh. I'm like, damn, my boss's boss's boss just told me to leave the company low key. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So if there's more questions, drop them in the chat. I will answer them as they come in. This looks like we're getting a bare trickle on YouTube. So yeah, I'm wildly inconsistent on YouTube. I just never seem to devote the consistent time to doing well on YouTube. Darn you, YouTube. Anyway, so this is what we're doing here. Data Jobs Live. There's me looking at my computer. We got another question. Okay, stay to the end for a special freebie or two. We shall see. So was talking about this the other day. I'll get to that question here in a second. Was talking about this the other day. So anybody I know Amir's familiar with Alteryx and Abe as well. Anybody that's not familiar with Alteryx, it's hard to recommend it at this point because the leadership of the company is not really valuing the community of users. I'm not going to say anything that's going to get me in trouble or get me fired, but it's just a thing. Private equity bought the company, and we don't treat the user base or the community with the same kind of respect and care that we used to. We laid off a lot of the people that were kind of dealing with the community and dealing with outreach and all that stuff. So it's just a fact. It's not, like I said, nobody can get mad at me for saying this because it's the truth. But I do recommend Alteryx as a tool. I love it. We have not devoted a lot of time to the stuff that you know of as Alteryx. We're doing a lot more in the cloud and with kind of, extra exquisite platforms. But yeah, just looking at in the chat. But anyway, this is an Alteryx basic, super basic Alteryx workflow. All it is 2 file inputs and a join. So people were asking me questions about it, and I don't want you to feel like you had to run out and download a trial piece of software. So I will show you how. What I did was I did a few queries, and I've kind of say downgraded. I've simplified the queries so that I can share them with you. And I will show you where to find the more elaborate queries. So yesterday I did this video. You can go find it's the most recent one on my YouTube. Check out that shirt, huh? So anyway, and the background and the headset. So anyway, this was me trying to teach you, if you don't know how to export your LinkedIn data now I copied a title from another thing because I'm playing little, thumbnail games, but which, is why I put such an attractive picture there. But anyway, so it walks you through step by step how to download your LinkedIn data and probably why you want to download your LinkedIn data. But I'll walk you through it, and then we'll talk through one of those queries. Let me see about this question. Yeah. Who is this? Is this Cheryl? Yeah, I don't see it. It's like hidden now. Okay. LinkedIn user. If you want to throw your name in the chat, you can. It doesn't show up on my end. Certifications are recognized benchmarks of levels of excellence. Portfolios are typically self-selected items that demonstrate a range of knowledge of a particular concept. Both can be useful. Benchmarks like certifications are more widely accepted and recognized. Okay. Yeah. I have various reasons for thinking that certifications are more high leverage. It's certainly a nuanced point. There are certain certifications that are going to move the needle in certain situations. If you have a project management certification, I'm talking the real one, not the clown ones, that there are plenty of dumb ones. But if you have a real project manager certification and you go in for a data analytics individual contributor job, that's window dressing. It's not helping you. If you have a Tableau certification, which those are difficult tests, Salesforce does not do easy tests. If you've taken one, you know. But if you have a Tableau data analyst certification and you go in for a job that requires Tableau, this was a point I made in the comments today, chances are that job does not require that specific certification, which doesn't happen. Generally, it's listed as a nice to have because it is a benchmark that shows some sort of proof of quality. But if you have that, then that is, to me, is a high leverage thing because I can look at your resume and I can say, hey, highlight all the resumes that have Tableau data analytics certification on them. It's not a requirement. So it's not it's not a knockout question as the recruiters call it. And we can talk about the ATS if you like, but that's not a knockout question because we didn't list it as a requirement, but it is a highlight of these people have a certain level of competence that we assume based on the difficulty of the test, which we know. So that's good. Now, if the job requires Tableau and you have an Alteryx certification, that may or may not be window dressing. Shows that you're passing analytics tests that have some sort of challenge to them, but it's not specifically relevant to that job. If you are going in for a healthcare analytics job and I look at your portfolio and you have the count of the different words in Taylor Swift's songs, and you have a pretty bar graph about sales of Super Mario video games, and you have things that I know for a fact are paint by numbers projects from your favorite influencer and his or her favorite boot camp, or on Kaggle where the high score is printed and the way to get the high score is also right there for cut and paste. It's just not, it shows interest. It's like taking a Udemy course. Like, cool, you like data. That's nice. You haven't proven anything. And people will sit there and be, oh, you could do something different with the Titanic data set. No, you freaking can't. Like a million people have done that. You're not Einstein. You're not going to do anything different with it. Right? So just chill, portfolio people. I don't think there are any here, but portfolios are good to do. And I talk about why in my book and in my course. And I talk about ways to do an effective portfolio. But my biggest thing with portfolio is niche down, decide who and what you are. So today, talking to Nita, healthcare analyst, I think. It's up to her. But that was my guidance, right? You have background in healthcare analytics. If you don't hate it, be it. So healthcare data analyst, right? If Nita's going to build a portfolio or more than she already has, she needs to do healthcare analytics projects because it's going to supplement her experience. Okay. So that's what I would say. Don't be a jack of all trades. If you're going to do projects, if you're going to do a portfolio, have your portfolio be a thing that adds to your brand and confirms your identity as an analyst. Okay. Amir says, I talk to every recruiter that calls me just to scope out salaries and probably to mess with them on some level. Let's be honest, Amir. Jeff says, that's a smart idea. Amir says, Alteryx, with that. Amir knows exactly what Alteryx is. Alteryx is the reason Amir and I know each other. Nita says, salary has such a big range these days. I feel I have seen 90K for a senior analyst. I can tell you from personal experience that I have earned 90K as a senior analyst. Salaries have gotten very varied. Yep. Okay. Cool. So if you want to go watch that video, you don't have to. I will show you in like 3 clicks how to do the darn thing. There we go. Oh, why are you being weird? Why are you being weird? There we go. All right. On screen. Yes. Go away, Data Career Chat Live. Nobody wants to watch you. Salaries have gotten very varied. Yes, they have. Okay, go to your profile, which will not look like my profile because we are different people. But you're going to go to me. I guess you don't really have to go to your profile. You just want to go to me. I wasted clicks. Go to settings and privacy. You're not going to see anything interesting. Trust me. Watch Spinny Circle of Death. Go into data privacy. Go into get a copy of your data. You can see that I've recently gotten mine twice because I demonstrated on the video after I'd already gotten it. But your request was made at February 2nd, 2026 at 11:49 p.m. Is now available for download. It was not made at 11:49 p.m., but whatever. Anyway, so when you click request archive, yours is going to say request archive. Yours is not going to say download archive unless you've actually requested it recently. You're going to request the archive. It's going to come in 2 tranches. I said that word like 30 times on the YouTube video. It was my thing. But anyway, you're going to get a first one. Let me show you. LinkedIn data. Again, if you come up with a question, please just drop it in the chat. I will still answer them. More of you and less of me is a good thing. Okay, so you're going to get 2 files. One file is going to show up in your inbox probably within the hour, and that is called basic LinkedIn data export. Now, there ain't nothing wrong with being basic. Don't let the Gen Z kids fool you. But it's going to be kind of smaller files with semi-useful stuff, okay? Ad targeting, certifications, there they are. Company follows, courses, education, email addresses, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now I'll show you the YouTube channel and or the Substack of the guy I follow that taught me how to do these things. But the one you really care about here is connections. All right. And so you're going to match your connections list, however many connections you have with, oh, come on back. Why did I do that? Once you get your complete LinkedIn data export, which is a much more robust, larger data set and can take up to 24 hours to arrive, you're going to get the rest of the pieces of the data sets that I've been playing with the last couple of days. So comments, that's a good one. I didn't actually do anything with that, but what else? There's connections again. Learning, no. Look at that. Messages. 153 megabytes. CSV. There you go. So you got reactions there as well. So the ones you really care about are messages right here. So connections, messages, and then shares. So don't let the name shares fool you. That's everything you've ever posted. So whether you shared a post or whether you made an original post or whatever you did, that's all your stuff there. Okay. And so all of that to have that. No, that was just a one-off. Okay. So you take all of that hotness to your favorite ChatGPT machine. And what you're going to do, let me find the first one. So the guy that I follow, he's got a process whereby you can see he is a legit prompt engineer. Here's the first prompt. Still going, still going, still going. There's like stages to it. So I actually learned a lot, and I actually implemented part of this today. I don't think I was tracking that you could, within the course of a prompt, you could say, hey, after you complete this step, stop, get my approval for this variable before moving forward. That's a cool thing. And that's in here somewhere, like after step 1, I think. Anyway, if this, so you got some conditionals in there. Maybe it wasn't this one, maybe it was the other one. Anyway, but this first thing, what it does is it takes the messages and the connections files and it counts all of your messages. It shows like, basically shows like who do you have the deepest relationship with? Like who do you exchange the most messages with? Like Abe and Amir. Um, so anyway, deep relationships. 2 of them are here in my audience. Recently active. Yep, that too. Anyway, now there's some yeah buts with it. Like when you have a group chat or something, like whoever founded the group chat gets credit for it. So Abe, if you're still listening, that's why there were so many messages credited to you and like none to Matt Bratton because Abe, Matt, and I have a group chat together. And then like Tom Ives, who I haven't talked to in like over a year, I have like thousands of messages with Tom Ives. Well, I don't have thousands of messages with Tom Ives. Tom started a group chat that I'm in that just never quits. So anyway, I do love Tom, but haven't talked to him in a while. Hope he's doing well. Tom, if you're out there, jump in the chat. Okay, so anyway, I've got a simplified version of this, which I can't post comments to some destinations. I don't think I can post it to LinkedIn. I will post it in the comments, but what I did was I went through and I built out all of this and I'll show you the output. But then, no, not keywords. Here's one that I built myself. And so it just goes to show you that a regular joker, not a like ultra dork prompt engineer, can just write good, sensible prompts and take those data sets and make some magic happen with them. So you start with the identity. Here, let me make that big and me small. There we go. Okay, so you start with the identity. You're an expert data influencer on social media platforms, killer hooks. And then I screwed up and I didn't put everything in there. But yeah, basically, so this is me saying, hey, when I pulled that shares file, see if I got it open. Yep, you open it. When I pulled that shares file, there's an embarrassing number of things in there. And I mean, I was like, what have I done? Why have I wasted my life on LinkedIn? So there's messages, bing, bing, bing. Okay, here are my shares. Let me just click. Can you guys see what that says right there? That says 1,914. I have posted on LinkedIn 1,914 times. Sorry, I have a life. I swear I do. Anyway, it was kind of funny going back and seeing like how ass like my first ones were all the way back. I could sort it the other way, or I could just scroll all the way to the bottom like a plebe. Here we go. Hey, look at that. Now the cool thing with this shares file that you can do, and I haven't even touched this yet. They don't throw anything away. Grab that URL. Everybody want to see my first? I posted it twice. Again, like a total plebe. But yeah, here we go. Here's my first LinkedIn post, folks. Bada bink. See how many pity likes I got. Oh, come on, don't make a liar out of me. There we go. Oh, the post cannot be. Okay. See, making a liar out of me. I did look at some really old one. How about this one here? I did pull up some old ones. I know I did. There we go. Look at that. 0811's doing 0811 things. Shared a post like a doofus. 2 pity likes. Thanks. Anyway, I probably had like 75 connections at the time. So, but you can do that with all 1,914 of your LinkedIn posts. Still depressing to say that. Anyway, so that's cool. I mean, that's just pulling the actual data set. Like you don't even have to do anything for that. But then once you get into it, I was like, this wasn't even the guy showing me to do stuff. I just basically said, hey, can you put a score on these, right? Now I got the idea from him. I said, creating killer posts, go through the shares.csv file and highlight content that is ripe for recycling. Why? Because I'm lazy. Take my class, you'll know this. Consider the quality of writing or lack thereof, relevance of topic. I'm a data analyst career coach specializing in blah, blah, blah. So I give them a couple of topics, right? Prefer not to recycle any post that is less than 6 months old. Why? Because the algorithm will mark it as spam. Give them a bonus for being older. Mark those where you see the hook as being below average. So I ask it like I suck at hooks, so I need help with that. And I'll post a CSV. I'll put a CSV of the post ranked by recycling score. Now it went through all of these machinations, silly things that only Amir understands. So I said, that's amazing. However, it could be better. And you're a machine, so you don't get tired. So let me task you again. So I tweaked a few things. Give me a suggestion for a better hook if the hook is bad. Give me 3 topics per. So doing a little natural language stuff. And then, what was it? Anyway, let me find it. Then data. Did I leave it in my downloads folder? See, I told you I'm lazy. Downloads. There it is, content recycling. Those are messages, and there we go. So it took the data that I had from that. So it's given me 3 topics. Control A, HLI. Come on, let's make Matt Prad. There we go. Okay. So rank, the date, age bonus. So anything past 6 months and out to 2 years, I want to score. And basically assigns it an overall recycling score. How good, how well, much should I recycle this thing? So high tier, I don't suppose that was really necessary, but how relevant is the writing? How good is the writing? You can see I did not get good grades here. I think I'm a pretty good writer. ChatGPT doesn't. I think ChatGPT sucks as writing. So, screw you. Score the hook. Tell me if you think the hook is below average. Again, categorical and a numeric variable representing the same thing. I didn't say it was perfect. 3 topics, so networking outreach, data analytics skills, resume, and ATS. And this right here, how did I break into data analytics? If you want to go see the original post and copy and paste it, the URL is over here. Okay, now I made this way too wide, like a plebe. So there, if I want to go look it up, which I did. Why? Because I actually recycled that post yesterday. Okay. But so now I've got all this. Now, not all of my content is going to be ripe for recycling, but that saves me time, right? Now I can put out a post every day. Some of my stuff can run over and over. So that's good. Yeah, I'm not going to try and do the SQL join. We're coming up on the hour anyway. But yeah, you can pull those out. Let me show you Homie's Substack real quick. So if you want to take a gander of it, you can. So it is called, no, don't talk. It is called Nate's Newsletter.substack.com. So if you go to Substack and just look for Nate's newsletter, highly recommend it. He was the inspiration for the games I'm playing with my LinkedIn data now. So he has a lot of kind of crap on LinkedIn and do better for yourself, which I 100% believe in. I do like LinkedIn. He obviously uses LinkedIn, but he's got a lot of crazy projects, or maybe crazy like a fox. Um, but yeah, so he's got a lot of. But the project that I was using is kind of like take your power back from LinkedIn and think about the things that you hate about LinkedIn. Besides everything, it's like you don't like the message interface. I hate the message interface. It's terrible. So you can get away from that if you like. Okay, so let's talk about stuff moving forward. Here's what I have for you. If you, first of all, let me know in the comments or wherever. Now, comments have dried up, so that either means everybody's left because I talk too much, or I have stopped getting comments. Let me. No, I don't see any notifications on LinkedIn. All right, holler if you hear me. Um, okay, yeah, looks like I'm caught up. Cool. So yeah, with the 5 minutes I've got left, let me talk about ways that we can work together going forward, from free to possibly not so free. Free is the Data Career Academy group. I run this group. You can see 101 members. Um, feel free. I am not going to sit here and groups don't make me any money. Um, but I do love this group, and there's some members here that can potentially vouch for it. We talk to each other. We have kind of special posts. I will sometimes test bed content or videos or stuff like that. You can go search for the Data Career Academy group. You can send me a message. Um, but it's free to all to join. All you got to have is the love for data. So, LinkedIn user says comment. Thank you, LinkedIn user. Okay, so that obviously quite free. I'm not going to charge for group membership. It's not probably not worth it anyway. But you will get first crack at some of my content. I'll post like book drafts and things like that in there. So there you go. Now I did have a slide on here offering Data Career Academy. I don't, but these were the slides that I did for offering Data Career Academy. So I summarize a lot of the things that I teach in Data Career Academy. And I was asking people in the group, hey, what should I charge for this thing? Now, nobody said zero. So I went through, I wasn't going to charge $497, but I thought about, a sub $100 fee for Data Career Academy. 97, yes, I was supposed to animate these bullets in case you can't tell. 97, 47, $20, no, no, and no. I'm gonna make it free again. Okay. So I will put the announcement out tomorrow. You can go ahead and jump on it tonight if you like. And I'll do a special, kind of coffee chat coaching session with you. dmajordata.com/DC Academy, not District of Columbia, but Data Career Academy. You got to fill out a brief form. Basically, it's just a kind of a statement of faith, like, hey, you're going to play full out. You're going to show up for all 9 sessions as long as you can make it. When is the next time I'm doing this academy? I said this last time, Nita, and I'll say it again this time. I don't know that I'm offering it again. I do thoroughly enjoy teaching this class. That's why I'm doing it again. That's definitely why I'm doing it for free. But I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Cool. So yeah, just fill out the form real quick and you will get a confirmation email, and then I will be in touch with you. If for some reason, I like to keep classes around 30. The last couple of times I have let in 25 to 30, and we wound up with like 15 or so kind of hardcore students. I might let in more this time just because when it's free, you don't really have any skin in the game and you don't have any like compelling reason to show up. Even $20 will get more people to show up but anyway, I couldn't work out the pay portal, and I want it to be free. And we have had people that literally could not afford $20 or $50 for this course, and I was glad that they got to take it. So anyway, various reasons, it is going to be free again this time. You do have to consent on there. Hey, I videotaped the courses, and eventually I will probably charge money for that, but not today. Okay, since you stayed to the end, and here it is coming right up on the hour. This is my, now it's a little disingenuous to show it as like a bound book as it is here, because it is going to be a Kindle book only. But for right now, if you are here at the end, DM me and say, I would like the book. And this is, so I have put together AI prompts to help with all of the stress points, the high leverage moves here in Data Analytics Career Playbook. So if you would like the book of AI prompts, I will send it to you. There's a link in there where you can go and get like cut and paste versions. The book itself has me talking through, hey, why do we use this prompt? Why does this prompt work? There are some of the chapters in the book. There are like 3 or 4 prompts where you can do a bunch of different things. Some of the prompts are very elaborate, not quite as elaborate as Nate's, but they're legit. Those of you that helped me launch Data Analytics Career Playbook, you have most of this already in the emails I sent out as the thank you. If you didn't get involved with that, fie on you. Go buy a copy of my book, and then. But yeah, if you just send me a DM on LinkedIn or whatever your platform of choice is, tell me, hey, send me my free gift, chump. I sat through your whole hour. Um, I will send you a PDF copy of this, and maybe a Word copy too. I don't know. But the people that buy it on Kindle, I'll obviously, like Pack does, I'll give them a download for it. Okay, so that's a new hotness. I'm gonna get that fast tracked. I'm gonna get that onto Amazon probably after Data Career Academy gets done because I got to go horse blinders. I got so many things going on. But that is it for that. So ways that I can help you. You can join the group on LinkedIn. I'm not going to try and do a Facebook group again. Those of you that did Data Career Academy before, that was a failed experiment. So we're going to stick with the LinkedIn group and I will communicate through there. Buy the book. It is $5 on Kindle all the time. Probably not going to do another 99-cent sale, but $5 on Kindle, 15 for the soft cover. This is the hardcover. That's 25. Go get yourself a copy. It's good. It covers a lot of and reinforces a lot of the things that are covered in the course. More than the course or more than the book is the Data Career Academy course. Trust me, if you've ever heard me, you just heard me talk for an hour. There's way more words in that hour of talking than there is in one of these chapters. Imagine 2 hours of that. We do take breaks. But if you would like to join in the Data Career Academy, if you're watching this live, themajordata.com/DC Academy. If you are watching it later on either LinkedIn or YouTube, I will have that link in the comments or show notes or whatever the thing is. I downloaded the Kindle version. Badass. There you go. But yeah, Nita, hit me up. We'll do something else. Maybe we'll do like a follow-up coffee chat from our coaching session. So I appreciate the engagement. And yeah, let's talk about, you said you can't make it to the course, but I'd like for you to be there. So we'll talk. Maybe we'll just do like tape delay or something. Yeah, so ways that I can help you, the group, the book, get a copy in your favorite format, and then Monday, Data Career Academy, make the time for it. It is worth it. I will be, the rest of the week, I will be posting testimonials from the previous class. Jeff is here. Jeff has been through it. Cheryl is here. Cheryl has been through it. So welcome repeats as well. I have changed things. I will change more things. I am incorporating some AI prompts as well, and that is going to be part of the homework. You are expected to post on social media. That is part of your homework. Okay. I'm going to be out of the country. That's right. You told me that. Okay. Yeah, Anita told me she's going to be in India. All right. Well, we can work something out for tape delay. I mean, anyway, we'll talk. But yeah, so that course. What else do I have coming up? I am also working on a mini course. If you recall last year, kind of an abortive effort. My book took priority, but I was launching into something called 10-Day Data Analyst. That is a kind of like speed run through doing all of the things in Data Career Academy, plus a couple of other things, but it's in like bite-sized chunks. So 10-Day Data Analyst is like a cool challenge that I wanted to run, and I wanted to be for like working professionals. So basically like, hey, you're single mom or whatever, you got kids at home and you need to squeeze your learning and your all of your efforts into 1 hour a day. you can do 10-day data analyst. And, no guarantee like, hey, you're going to, I need that book. I could not download it from Kindle. Okay. Faria, hit me up. Let's talk. Are you in India? Thought it was good. Most of the countries that people tried to get the book in, um, I think they wound up working it out. So there were a couple that were still just weird. So I wound up having to ship. So true story, and this is the last thing I'll leave you in. Christine Stathopoulos, I asked her to review the book for me. She just reads books all the time, but she likes physical books, and she takes a picture of it, and she like, it's awesome. Like, you can't buy publicity like that, and people follow her and people buy the books that she reads and reviews. So I asked her, she's fellow North Carolinian, one of the first people I met in data, one of the coolest people ever. But I messaged Christina and I said, hey, would you review my book? And, maybe write a blurb or something like that. And so she wanted to get a physical copy so she could do like the whole 9 yards, like read the whole thing, review it on her LinkedIn profile. So I was very appreciative. But then she said, like, she lives in Spain. She's married to a Spanish guy. But she's from North Carolina, where I live. And she said, like, if you ship it to Spain, it's gonna get like stolen or held for ransom. Um, so she said, like, ship it to my mom's house and I'll get it when I come home to visit. So yeah, I like bought a copy of my own book so I wouldn't have like, because when you get a book, you can get two different kinds. You can buy copies at cost, which are called these are called author copies, and you can see. So here's the one hardcover one I got initially, and you can buy these right when you publish them on Amazon. You can see the little strip across it where it says not for resale, right? But then you can get regular copies, but you can buy them at a deep discount if you wrote the book. So I get hardcover copies for like $5, and you can see it's the legit. There's no not for resale thing. Now you're still not supposed to sell them, but these are for like taking to signings and stuff like that. So anyway, inside stuff. So if anybody wants a few tips on how to get your book published on Amazon, I'm happy to talk about that. Okay. Yes, count me in from Germany. Cool. Hey, for you. Jeff Dibaldo. That last one. Posting on LinkedIn and doing it so much more consistently of late has been helping me get seen by recruiters. Yep. Makes your profile much more searchable. And legit ones. I'm working with one right now who's helping me find jobs and get in that side door. That is a concept that I will talk to you about if and when you join me in Data Career Academy. Okay. Going in the side door. It's much faster. People in the know go in the side door. And go in the front. Okay. Cool. Well, we are 10 minutes past time, and I thank you all for sticking around with me. Again, send me a DM for your free gifts. I will crank back up 10-day data analyst at some point. It will be some sort of mini course on my website, and yeah, we're gonna do some stuff with that. Because I miss anybody that was in LinkedIn hard mode. I don't know if anybody's here from the dates back to those days. That was like the Stone Age. But I used to run a 30-day challenge called LinkedIn hard mode. And I really miss the camaraderie of that and the, kind of the shared the shared misery of a 30-day challenge. But it was just way too much work, and I had to get a life. So yeah, that was but yeah, 10-day data analyst is kind of my attempt to recapture the magic of LinkedIn hard mode just with my people here. Okay. Jeff says definitely get Albert's book. I think that is a good comment to close out the show on. Oh, one more thing I was going to ask y'all, and I was going to do this at the top, but then I just started running my mouth. I think I know the answer of the people that are still hanging out here at 9:10 on a Tuesday night, but would you be open to doing this as a regular thing? I started thinking of what it would be like to have like do like live show. I also do miss doing live shows. For anybody that remembers the podcast YouTube channel called How to Get an Analytics Job, that's where I started out, cut my teeth. I was like assistant producer, social media guy for that. Didn't really have an official title. I just gave them to myself. But yeah, How to Get an Analytics Job. A lot of people got their start in the biz off of that thing. But I missed that because we did live shows and that was a ton of fun. And so this is why I'm doing these consistently. So cool. Yeah. If y'all would be willing to participate in this as a weekly thing, I'd be interested in doing it. And I think there's kind of a lack of consistent live content now that How to Get an Analytics Job is done, and Artists of Data Science, if you remember that one, that was a classic. But yeah, there used to be a handful of kind of quality live consistent data content, and I feel like it's kind of missing now. It's all recorded podcasts and produced, and that ain't my thing. I like to just get on here and wing it. So you're welcome, Nita, for all the effort and time I put into this. I'm quite busy, but yeah, appreciate it, and I'm going to keep the content coming. This was great. Thanks, Albert. I'm guessing that's Cheryl, but I'll find out soon enough. GF Baldo, I agreed and tried getting one from November. Yeah, we'll work something out for you. If nothing else, I don't need you to Venmo me $5 or anything. I can probably just send you a PDF copy or something. Live show would be great. Definitely plan on coming to more shows if I put them on. Yes. You are welcome. My pleasure. Nita loves live shows. Absolutely. Well, certainly once you're in India, it's going to be like a weird time for you, but all good. We'll get it worked out. Okay. Cool, folks. Well, if this is it for tonight, thanks everybody for coming. Semper Fidelis, and I'll talk to you later.